one. What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and of course, I have some exciting news for you Yu-Gi-Oh! GX fans, or maybe you fans of, well, Yubel. Yubel is going to be getting some support in Phantom Nightmare, and funny enough, the actual set itself is going to be featuring Yubel. This is the second set in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series to feature Yubel as part of the card lineup and the artwork itself. Yubel, for a brief introduction or a brief analysis of that, is that Yubel is the antagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Anime Season 3. And that was a very long season because that season stretched out for a good period. You had a lot of introductions the dual spirit world, which is something we never thought we'd see, and just the overall arc itself, leading to the final battle between Bell, which ends in, I guess, a draw, if you will. Neither side loses, but both sides win, as Dayton himself was able to save Bell from the pain and sorrow that it felt, while Yubel also was able to join their original master, Yuki. Don't worry, because I think it'd actually be really cool if I had a side story to talk about you. So, by the end of the video, if you don't see it, I'll have a discussion about it. Well, with that said, anyway, why don't we go ahead and we take a look at everything going on. So I'm going to give you guys a full screen version of the pack itself. There it is, the Nightmare, and the OCG. Alright, and now we're going to move this over just slightly a bit, because we'll that. Just so I can make sure that everything's frame. There it goes. So that way we can see everything in. Starting off is Spirit of Yubel. Monster is a level 10 Dark Attribute Theme type effect monster with 0 attack and defense. You only use this card's first attack and effect return each. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, use the card from your hand. Card is something you can take one spell or trap from your deck that mentions Yubel and either add it to your hand or set it. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage following the card. If this card is destroyed, you can summon one of your Yubels that is banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard. Of course, this is a reference to the GX anime as Yubel being character Yuki, both in his past life and in his future life. Then moving on from there, we have a monster getting reincarnated itself. This is Gearster Grinder Golem, known as Gearstort Golem. This is a level 8 Dark Attribute Fiend type monster with 3k attack, 300 defense. You only special summon Gearster Grinder Golems once per turn. You can reveal one Yubel monster from your hand to special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field. Then you can summon the revealed monster to your field. Once per turn during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you gain 3,000. Your opponent gains 3,000 life. I believe that if you give it to your opponent, it becomes your opponent's monster, and then during the damage calculation, card battles a Yubel monster, then your opponent will gain the life point, the 3k life point. So basically, you're going to summon this monster to your opponent's side of the field. You're going to have a Yubel on your side of the field. The Yubel's most likely going to force this monster to attack into you, and because of that, during the calculation, your opponent will gain the 3,000 life points, and you, the opponent, will gain 3,000. Don't ask me more questions. I'm sure they're going to clarify this for us later. Anyway, the last effect is that if you special summon Yubel while this card is in your graveyard, you can summon this card to your opponent's side of the field. So basically, yeah, this is a reincarnation Grinder Golem. The Grinder Golem's ability was that you summon it. I think you give your opponent the 3k BC, but you gain the 2 tokens. Yeah, because Grinder Golem was one of the monsters in the series that got banned because it was a very token heavy generated card where you give your opponent a 3K monster, but you still have two monsters on the field that that are basically tokens. And tokens, as we all know, can be used for multiple things in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, including the mechanic that came out, which was Link Summon, at the time of this card being hit heavily. I believe it ended up getting banned because of how versatile the card had became. Next up is another card that had some things happen to it. Sacrifice Demon Lotus, which we know as Sincera Lotus, or, well, Sincera Generating Lotus. This is a level 1 Dark Attribute Fiend type monster with 0 attack and defense. You only use each of this card's following effects once per turn. You contribute this card to summon you draw a monster from your deck. During your opponent's turn, when a monster activates an effect that you control a Yubel monster, quick effect. You can contribute this card to make its effect become destroy one Yubel monster in the field, and then of course its other effects will apply. Then the last effect is that during the end phase, if you control a Yubel monster and this card is in your graveyard, you can either take this card and add it to your hand or special summon it. This monster is, of course, the reincarnated form of Sansera Lotus, which I believe is a card that was also used in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime by Yubel themselves. And funny enough, this monster does not share the same type as the original monster is based off of, which is Sansera Lotus, who's a level 1 Dark Attribute plant type monster, while Stemsora Regenerating Lotus is Fiend. Moving on from that is, of course, the cover art monster. This is Yubel, Das Egg Lib Watcher. This is a level 12 Dark Attribute Fiend type monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. Requires 1 Yubel plus 1 or more effect monsters on the field. You can only use this card's first effect once per turn. Card is says summon inflict 500 points. If fusion summon, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each fusion material used for its summon. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, and also you take no damage involving battle with this card. Then, if this card battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, inflict damage to them equal to that monster's attack, and if you do, banish it. The name of this monster is apparently botched German, in which is supposed to mean the phrase for eternal loving our love protector, citing the role that Yubel has as one of Jaden's eternal soulmates and protectors. Not quote me on this. That is just how it is. Moving on from that, we have the continuous spell. This is Nightmare Pain. You only activate the first effect of this card once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy one dark monster in your hand or face opponent field, and if you do, you can add one Yubel or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except for Nightmare Pain. The second effect is when you control any Yubel monsters, your opponent's monsters must attack if able. And the last effect is if your opponent takes any battle damage, you would have taken from battle involving Yubel monster died. So yeah, this of course is just a reference to when I believe Jayden attacked Yubel and didn't expect Yubel to have such a strong counter effect attached to it, where you would take damage equal to um the damage you would take the battle damage instead of the battle. Pretty much what this card insinuates. The next card up is Mature Chronicles. It's a continuous spell card, and you can only activate its second effect once per turn. Each time a Yubel monster or monsters or monsters that mention Yubel is special summoned, place one Chronicle counter on this card. You can then remove up to 5 Chronicle counters from this card to activate one of the following effects. Removing one counter, set summon Yubel monster from your graveyard. Removing 2, add one one of your banished cards to your hand. Effect 3, banish one card from your deck. Effect 4, destroy one card in the field. Effect 5, add one super polarization from your deck to your hand. This card, of course, is the I guess you say it's the upgraded form or the more reincarnated form of the original spell known as Spell Chronicles, which I believe every time. Oh, hold on, I have it right here. It says for Spell Chronicles that you activate this card by sending your entire hand to the graveyard. You banish 5 spells or traps from your deck. Time your opponent will activate a spell card, you place one Chronicle count on it. You can remove up to 2 Chronicle cards, counters from this card to have your opponent choose one of your banished cards. One card that was banished by this card's effect, um, and added to your hand. Then if this card on the field and your shuttle's card zone leaves, you take 500 points of damage for each card banished by this card's effect. There is some changes, I believe, to this card's ruling in its lineup, but I don't know it. I'm just here to report it. But yeah, if you do take a look at both the of Spell Chronicles and Mature Chronicles, the wings are actually different, as you don't see a plain dark silhouette. You have more of a heroic set of bat wings. Well, you see bat wings, but they're clear. In this version of Mature Chronicles, you see a pure dark wing. You see a fireball, and you see thunderstorm. No, a guiding light in the darkness on this, as well as Shane's a similar makeup to the Spell Chronicles. So, as it was another card used, well, by Yubel. The last card up is Eternal Favorite. The continuous chat card, and it says you're going to activate each of the following effects of this card once per turn. But you only activate this card once per turn. So the effects are special summon one Yubel monster that is banished or in your graveyard to yeah, our graveyard. Neither player can activate cards or effects when this card is special summoned. If you control Yubel, discard one card from your hand and send it takes a card to the from the spell and turn cards onto your graveyard. The fusion summon one Yubel monster. No, fusion summon one monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including Yubel. This card's artwork is, of course, in reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime, in which Jayden fuses with Yubel after, well, saving Yubel. They have a very complicated relationship. But yeah, these are basically just cards to support Yubel. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get more enhanced versions of the variations of Yubel. I wouldn't be surprised if the OCG just announced that, hey, we're going to have another one of those side packs, not premium packs, but you know what I mean. The packs that come out every time a set comes out, both main inside sets. They bam, here's support for it. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if they made Yubel Incarnate, Yubel Incarnated, and then Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare, or this Yubel, maybe even Neos Wise Man as a reprint to go along with it. I am very shocked that it's that is Yubel, but I think a lot of people would say no. This was Yubel. It had Yubel written on. It's the Phantom Darkness, basically 2.0, and it's more focused on Yubel and giving Yubel more support and more congruent support, which for a lot of legacy or cash, a lot of legacy decks, you don't get too much of that. So shout outs to the Yubel fans and the Yubel players that you after what almost 15 years you finally get some support. It probably a little less than that. I'm probably over exaggerating, but then again, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's always a thing that happens. So yeah, definitely. Think this is gonna be some really cool stuff for it. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Yubel's new support and Yubel's new guiding lines. Just in case anybody is going to be asking that question of what things to expect from Yubel, can't really give you a full answer, but I'm sure it's going to be something breaking. So, with that said and done, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the Yubel support and what are the things you would like to see, maybe in upgrade to Neos Weissman, since that is a card that is formed of Yubel and mentions Yubel in its text. That'd be awesome. So, with that said and done, thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps me out tremendously. You guys can hit the notification bell to be informed when I do upload more to my channel. And of course, social media links there in the description box below. And you guys can definitely catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerJoe. With that said and done, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. HPJ signing out. Yeah.